Welcome to Pod Me If You Can, I'm David Farrell. Today's film is Get Well Soon, starring Vincent Gallo, Courtney Cox, and Jeffrey Tambor.
Pardon me if you can. Movie reviews.
Bobby Bishop is a Letterman or Conan level TV host, except his talk show is live every night at 11:30 p.m. He has a nervous breakdown on air while interviewing a pop star, and he tells her he wants to sleep with her in a pretty crude manner. He seeks out his ex-girlfriend Lily, Courtney Cox, because he's depressed with his life and fondly remembers a time with her before he was famous. Her brother is a mental patient that is obsessed with Sarah Jessica Parker and Sex and the City. Her mother is pretending to be homeless. With the media circling his meltdown, will Bobby Bishop be able to get back on top? So Courtney Cox did this film, Get Well Soon, during her time in Friends. The film came out in 2001. And it's really unclear why you would jump on board this production because her character is very two-dimensional. She has no job, she has no hobby. She simply takes care of her brother and her mother. She has this unexplained love for Bobby Bishop, who she knew when he was Kevin. We don't get to know much of their past, which makes it difficult to care about whether or not they should get back together. A flashback scene with Lily and Bobby, or Kevin, would have been very helpful in establishing their relationship. One of the real issues of this film is the editing. It's jarring, it's jumpy, and they actually repeat actions and repeat motions and repeat performances. They repeat shots and lines, and it's very uneven filmmaking. It forces you to watch multiple versions of their performances, and it's kind of irritating and distracting. This kind of filmmaking really takes you out of the film. The plot is confusing at times, and it feels like certain scenes are missing. For example, we're missing a scene where Bobby wistfully remembers that time with Courtney Cox's character Lily. And if that scene was in the film, maybe we would have gone some way into understanding why they were together, because we go from his meltdown on air to then him pursuing her in New York. As well, the trailer and the box both state that he has a meltdown on air and declares his feelings for Lily, and he misses her. But in fact his meltdown is the crude, I want to sleep with this model type. Had it been him professing his love for Lily, then this film would have made more sense, and the trailer makes more sense. And when you watch it, he first professes his love, and then he goes after her, and you sort of get his journey. But it seems really out of the blue here. One of the problems I have with the film is that he's a talk show host. So it would have been fantastic if we'd actually got a model or a level of celebrity on this show to give it credibility. In fact, Carolina Parsons plays the model he insults, and she's not a known personality. I felt like Courtney Cox is on the show Friends. Surely she could have got one of the other girls or, some co-star or somebody we'd recognize to be on the show. There was too much of the brother and too much of the mother and even of her friend. It should have really been about Bobby and Lily, and to a lesser extent her boyfriend, who's played by Tate Donovan. He's a closet homosexual. The mother is played by Anne Meara, who you might recognize as the protester in Zoolander, who threw an egg and said, "Suck it, Mugatu." She's actually Ben Stiller's mother in real life. They name-drop Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick so much, like 50 times, and it would have been fantastic if you'd gotten a cameo from either one of them or some kind of endorsement. It's like if Bend It Like Beckham didn't have that scene with Beckham, then it would have been so much less credible. Here they're like, Sarah Jessica Parker, and you keep thinking she's going to pop up, or Matthew Broderick's going to pop up, but it doesn't happen. There is a subplot where the brother is trying to kidnap Matthew Broderick's dog, and a guard at his mental institution is helping him kidnap Matthew Broderick's dog. There's a scene where they're talking to the dog walker and haggling the price, and how much they're going to pay this dog walker to kidnap Matthew Broderick's dog. And it makes no sense. And these subplots are not worth even bringing up. Jeffrey Tambor plays a very similar character to the one he played on the Larry Sanders Show. It's not a stretch for him. At one point, Vincent Gallo starts talking to the camera, and it's about 30 or 40 minutes into the film. And it's really out of place, and he never does it again. And so it's very jarring as well. This whole style of filmmaking it makes you very uneasy while you watch. If I've learned anything from watching Friends, it's that New York is a small place. Well, it's even smaller here, because in Get Well Soon, Courtney Cox's character literally runs into Vincent Gallo's character 3 or 4 times to advance the plot of the film. There are 0 extras on the streets, and New York feels like a small town. Ultimately, this movie has no heart. It's supposed to be a rom-com, and also on the box it says, in the twisted romantic comedy spirit of There's Something About Mary, and it has nothing like Something About Mary. This is really watered down nothing. One of the ultimate problems of this film is that Vincent Gallo's character has no charm. He's unbelievable as a talk show host, and it feels like he wouldn't be a high-rating talk show host, let alone have a show 5 nights a week at 11:30 p.m. live. There is a cameo from voiceover artist Alan Coulter. Now, he's the red-headed voiceover artist from David Letterman. People recognize his voice. And he has a small cameo here, and he's actually credited in the opening titles as being part of this film. Anyway, his tiny cameo here says that this talk show world that Vincent Gallo's character, Bobby Bishop, is in fact exists in the same world as Letterman. He's name referenced in the film. So which means Alan Coulter has had the choice between working on Bobby Bishop's show and Letterman's show, and in this fantasy world has chosen to work on the Bobby Bishop show, which is ridiculous because it is a poor substitute. Ultimately, Get Well Soon is not worth your time, and this film felt like the longest 95 minutes ever. You can find more obscure film reviews at our YouTube channel.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Check out our podcast at www.podmeifyoucan.com.